Okay guys, so trying to get my camera angles and everything right. So forgive the weird camera angle. We're gonna go ahead and do the unboxing on this bowl here real quick, and I wanted you guys to see what we've got. Now this is gonna be an ongoing project that I'm working on as part of an oath fulfillment, and I really dig making bowls. And this year for Yule, I am to have a bowl ready for our tribe, and I'm really excited about this one. So let's take a look at what we've got. Okay, now this one I ordered from Amazon. A lot of times I prefer to work with bowls that are, you know, handmade, but this one is going to be a prefab order, simply because that's what I could do at the time. You guys know, if you've been following the channel, that I don't necessarily have a whole lot going on right now business-wise. I'm actually out here at my dad's shop. That's what all this background is, helping with the family business. So it's cool. We sell construction supplies and stuff like that. So, but anyway, yeah, filming on location as always. You know how I am. Always out doing something. So here we go. One last strap, and now let's see what we've got. I prefer to work with hardwood bowls. I do not like to use laminated bowls when I'm doing rune work because they don't rune burn well. The layered wood and everything just doesn't hold up for me. I've done it before. It works, but I don't know. It always feels kind of chintzy. I don't want it to feel like some salad bowl I got at Target or something like that. That's never any fun. All right, so let's see what we've got here. Ooh. Well, the packaging is decent at least. Make a mess here. Haha. Here we go. Let's move this out of the way. Bubble wrap. Yay, good. Oh, we're wrapped up in it. Ooh, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Check this out. Heck yeah. Get rid of that. Let's get rid of the box. And all the crap. Haha. All right, so here we have the bowl. I'm gonna see if I can't center it more in the camera here in just a second. Let's get this baby out of the packaging, shall we? Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. Oh, made in the USA. Rock on. But check this out. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, man, I'm so excited. Now, when I do these, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and usually I'll put, I like a good thick rim. One, because a thicker bowl is going to be better for ritual purposes. I also like a wider bowl when I'm doing ritual because it helps to, you know, especially if you get a large tribe. I like a wider basin because it does catch a little bit more when we're dealing with meads and things like that. What I will do, because this is kind of porous, I'm going to go in and do the rune burning on it all the way around. And I will probably do some kind of inlay in the middle too. I like usually to put like an Egeshama or something like that. Sometimes I'll put like tribe member initials and runes in there. It just depends. I haven't decided on the design on this one yet. First thing I do is I get the bowl in, then I look it over and I decide what my design is going to be. It kind of comes to me. I'll sit there with a glass of whiskey and a stogie, and I will sit here and just look at the bowl, feel the bowl, and the design will just kind of come to me. So I'm really excited about working on this one. I think it's going to be cool. But yeah, man, that is nice. Nice hardwood. I don't remember exactly what wood this is. I'll have to look on my Amazon order, and then I'll talk about it when I show some of my work on it. I intend to go through, but this is all going to be one big video by the time all is said and done. But I'm really excited. It's kind of rough. And it's kind of porous. It doesn't really have a wood finish, like a food safe finish on it yet, which I like. I prefer to get them before they have the whole finish on them. This obviously has been stained in such a way as to really bring out the wood grain on it, which I really like. It'll still burn just fine. And I'm gonna borrow my dad's pyrography set and see if I can't do a little something with that, because I think that'll be really cool, and I haven't got to play with that one yet. So I'm gonna do some test burns on it and then come in and decide what I'm gonna put on here. And then when all is said and done, I will come in and I will probably use a spray clear coating I prefer to use something that's food safe. Doesn't necessarily have to be with an offering bowl, but I kind of prefer it to be. And then I don't know if I'm going to sand this edge down. I may not. I kind of like the rough. And when you spray coat it, it's going to fill in a little bit of that as you go through. Remains to be seen. Hopefully, this is going to prove to be a good, strong bowl. We shall see. I'm excited for it. And with the coloring and everything, I'm not going to have to go through and do a colored stain. Previous bowls that I've done have been real light colored, and so, because they've been unfinished. Munsing is a brand of bowl I really like to work with. But this one, since the coloring and everything's already been stained and everything, I don't have to go through and do that myself. And I'm going to be pretty excited to be able to skip that step, because I have to have this ready by Mother's Night, which for my tribe is December the 19th. And I have a lot of work to do. And realistically, it's not all that much work. I'm pretty good at these. I knock them out pretty fast. So I'll probably spend, this is probably, 3 cigars worth. I'll sit down with 1 cigar and I will decide the runes that I'm going to put on it. And then I will probably sit out and do the same thing again while I actually sketch. I usually pencil sketch on what I'm going to do. And then I will come back in and I will burn the actual design in as I go through. And so there'll be probably 3 separate sessions: the brainstorming session, the actual sketching session, and then the burning session. And I'm going to try and capture a little bit from each of those so that we can put it together. And then of course the 4th session, the final session, will be actually spraying the bowl and letting it set, which I'll try to get some from each of the steps when I do that. The only thing I have to decide is, you can't really see it here, but this right here is really rough. Really rough. So I may sand down the outer edge. I haven't decided yet. I kind of like rough in spots. It's not too rough except here and here. And again, it's just kind of where all the striations on the wood come up. And so the wood grain there is pretty thick, even though this right here is not too bad. This right here feels very ridgy. So remains to be seen. I'll make a decision on that. Obviously, that's something that they did in the design, because this looks like it may have actually been augmented in some way, shape, form, or fashion. My big thing is going to be to make sure that the bowl is strong and I'm not seeing any cracks. I'm seeing some with the striation, like this seam right here with the wood ring, I think is going to be fine. It's thick enough and it doesn't seem to be deep enough that that's going to be an issue. So I think all in all, I'm not going to have to do any prep work on this bowl. I think I'm going to be able to go straight to design and burn. So I am super excited on this one. Ooh, yeah, when I ordered it, I didn't think it was going to be this pretty. I'm excited. This is a beautiful bowl. So I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to put these up in separate sections and give updates on what I'm doing, or if I'm just going to like montage the whole thing and put it together in one video and put out like a standard episode, but that be the, I may shoot an intro for it and do a standard episode as, you know, the bowl episode. We'll see. If I do, I'll try to put it out somewhere in the area of Yuletide, because I'm going to be working on this pretty close up too, as I get my opportunities. I may use that as a base and then do my designs around. Thoughts? No, I'm not taking recommendations. By the time you see this, I will have already designed it, so cool. All right, guys. Well, that's that for the unboxing. This is really cool. I'm excited. I'm going to leave that Made in USA sticker on there for a little while because I just like it. So cool. I love that it's made in the US. And then I'll pull my order up and give some more details in future episodes or future shootings of what the actual wood make is and everything. I'd have to click off and get on my phone. I'm using my phone to film, so anyway, cool. Rock on. Onwards and upwards to the next phase. Hail. Okay, folks, I promised you I'd show you some more of the process while I was doing the development. And what I've done here on the bowl is I have taken, pardon the shaky cam, I'm not on the tripod this time. I've taken this simple white pencil, it's an art pencil in my dad's kit, and I've gone through and roughly sketched in where I want different aspects of the runes on the rim of the bowl, and then I've put my tribe's bind rune in the middle, and then around the base of the bowl, at equal intervals, I've put Otala, Vunyo for balance and joy, Ansur for the communication elements, and Thurizaz for the protection. The runes on the side here read Samla Regnet, which translates roughly to gather the rain. And since Ridgar is the Storm Spirit tribe, thunder and rain are very much part of our kind of deal there. And so this is very symbolic of our tribe. I've purposefully not put a rune here at the base, partially because of the kind of ridged end there is going to make it difficult to burn. I could do it, totally. But I tend to, in ritual, especially when I'm doing blotain, I'll hold the bowl with one hand like this, and then I'll use the other hand with the tain. And this way I've got a good spot to grab. So it's a bit functional and a bit aesthetic in that, you know, it gives me an anchor point for the thumb. And then, of course, with my hand, I'm holding Othala, that which is most important to me. So the symbolism there is great, especially because it puts on the polar other end the Ansur rune for communication, transmission of intent. So what I'm doing here, holding what's important to me through a portal that is the well of my tribe, is bound by the bind rune, that is protected by the gods and granting us balance and joy on forward to communicate it out to the tribe, which is why the tribe's name Ridgar exists there at the end. So it is a flow of energy, a mixing, and an outward focus. So the design on it is very specific as to why I've laid these things out the way that I have. The next step is to go in and do the wood burning. Now normally I just use a little wood burning kit that I got way back in the day. It's just a wood burning pen. But I'm going to be using my dad's pyrography set this time, which allows for better control, and it's just a nicer set. Now I'm going to flash over here to my iPad real quick and show you. This is what originally I had set up as the design. I was going to do an Egishjelmer in the middle, but I felt at the last minute like switching over to the bind rune carried more power and was more specific to my tribe. So all I did there was use a picture on my iPad, and then I took an overlay and just wrote the runes with my stylus there and drew out the Egishjelmer. Yeah, I know, I can't draw. I would have come out smoother on the bowl itself because I would have used something to make the circle more even all the way around. But I chose against that this time and instead went with the bind rune. Now it'll show up better once I've burned it in. I specifically chose a white pencil so that it would show up against this kind of darker background, because originally I did it in pencil up here and you can't really see it because I won't focus in on it, but it was more difficult to see. I'm also probably going to spread the runes for Ridgar out just a little bit. I don't really like how clumped they are. I already did that on some Laregnet on the side because I felt like it was just too clumped, and for as wide a bowl as that was, it felt like it needed to be more spread out, more rounded. So I'm going to play with it before I actually put hot metal to bowl and make my decision. But there you go, guys. This is part of the brainstorming session. This is kind of what it looks like in process. Next step is the burning, and I'll try and involve you guys a little bit on that. So here we go, step by step. Alright guys, so I got the bowl finished, and as I went to start burning, I discovered it's not actually wood, it's resin. Surprise, surprise. When I first put that hot knife to it and it turned white instead of black, I was like, oh, okay, interesting. So I wanted to pull this up and show you guys the finished product because I went ahead and finished it anyway because it's still part of the oath fulfillment. I just said that I was going to burn a new bowl for the tribe, and there's no reason that resin isn't going to work. Actually, in a lot of ways, resin will be better because it will hold up. So as you can see, the runes burned in very nicely. The binder in there pops really well. Down around the edges, you can see how all of the runes really, really pop. And I've got to say, I have never done burning on resin before. It seems kind of weird to me. And I'm about 90% certain that's resin. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's resin. Anyway, the way that it brings the white from the resin out, because no matter how I applied the heat, it wasn't going to blacken for me. So it's like, all right, well, we'll lower the voltage on the pyrography set, which I really like that pyrography set. I've got some oak that and I know that's oak, it's real oak because I cut it, that I'm going to do some really cool stuff with, and maybe I'll show you guys some of that in the future too. But ultimately speaking, I really like the way this pops. So, I mean, my oath will be fulfilled with this. I'm going to go in and put a clear coat on it so that this sucker is sealed and doesn't hopefully chip in the edges now where I have burned it. We'll see how this holds up. I'm going to put it into use with the tribe and see if it holds up. So that being said, I may look for another actual wood bowl and try and do another one in the near future. Who knows? But yeah, pretty cool. I was disappointed when I found out that it wasn't really wood. I was kind of looking forward to that. I was really excited about the way the wood looked and felt, because it feels like wood. It doesn't really feel like resin. But it is what it is. So yeah, interesting project with unforeseen results. So I guess it works out all right in the end. But yeah, there it is, guys. There is the, let me see, my Othala room, my Toraza's room, Fonyo, Ansur. It'll still work. It'll still serve the purpose. I do prefer actual hardwoods for ritual purposes, but there's no reason that this isn't going to work as a receptacle. You can use anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be natural products, but I prefer natural products. So that being said, this baby I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to see what it does. I'm going to experiment with it in ritual and see if it's effective. If it's not, then back to the basics. But I've used other things like metal bowls and things like that, metal basins. It's the ritual process itself is what's important. There's nothing in this that I feel would disrupt a ritual for any means. And in a lot of ways, it may actually turn out to be better because it's going to hold up to all of the liquids and everything that I put in it really well, especially once I put a clear coat on this sucker. So we shall see. Fingers crossed, and hoping that it turns out to be a good bowl in the end. But I will try and do another project with actual wood next time for you guys. If you guys are even interested in that. I like it though. I think it's really cool. Stylistically, from the look of things, man, I just love the way that pops when you do that. It's just, if I had realized, I'm glad I did this way instead of trying to do carving on it, because if I tried to do carving on it, then that probably would not have gone well. So it probably would have just crumbled into dust around me. But you guys will have seen the product and everything as it goes through. And so yeah, there we go. Hope you guys enjoyed this project show, and I'll be back to some more regular content in the near future. So hail to you all, thank you. May your hearth fires burn bright.